So this is my video assignment for the MSAT GVU admin class. And so this assignment is the PRN, the camp assignment. So so my preceptor, Jason, he's hit or miss on whether he's doing PRN work or not. He doesn't normally do it, but in the past he did a lot of hockey and stuff like that. And every now and then over the summers, maybe he'll dip into a little bit, but not so much anymore. As for his advice for like looking at some of the PRN stuff, it's basically just like, it was pretty similar to what was in the book. Like essentially like find out as much as you possibly can before you accept the contract, find the EAPs, what equipment will they provide versus what you need to bring. Are you actually allowed to practice here regarding your insurance or state practice laws? But then like some of the other things he mentioned was kind of like how much you're being paid versus how much you're working. So, like a $400-500 like contract for however many days might sound nice, but then you look at how many hours you might have to work and turns out you're only getting $10-15 an hour. So like kind of knowing like how many hours you're going to work rather than just looking at how much they're going to pay you. So just to kind of make it worth your time, essentially, especially since if you're doing like a normal contract with a hospital or a school or whatever, like on top of this work. So just making sure it's worth your time. What was the other one? And then basically the last one that I learned from the book, and my preceptor didn't give this advice, but when we talked about it, he essentially agreed with it, is that like finding out like what we're going to receive patient-wise. Like, are we getting patient information? Are we going to get like medical waivers saying that we can do this, especially if it's with athletes under the age of 18, so minors? Making sure that there are consent forms and that like I have like consent from their guardians to provide care if they need it. How many different venues are going to be there? So if I'm the only one hired, but I have 2 or 3 spots I have to cover, like how am I going to do that? So like knowing these things kind of beforehand so I can review all this information and then go into it prepared rather than just saying yes to a contract, showing up and realizing that I didn't do any of that and now I'm wholly unprepared for the next 2 days of this PRN work. And then like the other thing was like also knowing, it's good to know like what other ATs or just med staff in general is going to be there. Am I the only one? Is there going to be 3 other guys? Get into contact with them early if possible, just so everyone kind of knows what's going on. It's like similar to like pre-event, like wrestling tournaments or football games. You have a little mini meeting, you figure out basically the action plan for XYZ and then go forward, rather than just showing up, you don't know who's all there, and all of a sudden nobody knows what to do in like an actual emergency situation. And then basically just like lines of communication, like find out, again, all med staff, who's running the event, who's the director of camps, who's the coaches at camps, etc. So like making sure communication pipelines are nice, clear, and concise. Yeah, that's about it for the most part. So thank you.